Hey y'all, I just wanted to jump on real quick and just share with you guys a mistake that I have been making as a mom in hopes that another mom can see this and hopefully don't make the same mistake, or if they find that they are currently making that mistake, that they can correct themselves so they don't end up in the situation that I ended up in. And that mistake is honestly allowing my pride to fuel me as a mom and dictate how I show up as a mother. Just to give you a brief history about me, I've been a mom for 10 years now. And since I've been a mom, I have always been an extra mom. Anything that my child wants to be a part of, they are a part of. Anything that they participate in, I participate in. Any event that I see going on for kids, I make sure that my kids are there. Just loving them, nurturing them, sacrificing anything I have to give. Like, I sacrificed for years. I sacrificed myself and my own purpose just because I thought that's what I was supposed to do as a mom. So fast forward now, I went through a marriage. God delivered me from the marriage I was in, and I transitioned into a single mom. I was unable to adapt and understand that I needed to adapt now that I am a single mom, because my pride kept telling me that if I do less than what I was doing before, I was less than a mother. So if you have help, you know that it's still challenging to be a mom, but it is a little bit easier when you can call on someone and say, hey, can you get dinner started because I need to take the kids to go get this? Or if you have to take the kids to practice or something, you know that you'll have help at night, getting them in the bath, getting them prepared for bed, whatever the case may be. If you have to take one child here, you can leave the other ones with your partner. If you have to do anything, you have extra help. Where I'm at currently, my support system is nowhere in the same city. My mom is 3.5 hours away from me. My brother is out of state. I do have like a few people I can call on in case of emergency, but as far as, hey, this child has practice at this time, this one has a birthday party to attend, can you take this one there while I take this one there? I don't have that luxury. So most of the time when I get involved in stuff or I have to come to stuff, it's going to be me and my three. If me and my three can't be in that type of environment, then I miss out on it, or one of them miss out on it because their siblings couldn't attend. And again, my pride would not let me step back and pivot and learn how to operate in this new normal. My pride was telling me, you can still do it all. You can still do it all. And as God delivered me out of that marriage, he did a healing and he did a work in me to where I was able to really understand his love for me, which helped me love myself and find my worth. So now, in addition to me being this mom that I've always been, now I'm incorporating self-love and self-care into that, and just focusing on my purpose outside of motherhood. So my plate began to fill up quickly, and a lot of stuff I was putting on my plate. I'll just give you a snapshot of my last 6 months. During the last 6 months, I went through certification to become a life coach and a wellness coach. I also am a mentor leader for a ministry that mentors teen moms. My children, I signed them up for cheerleading, which is a grueling experience. I salute any parent that has their child in the little football, cheerleading type stuff. It is not for me. That was a lot. I also am active in my church. I also work a corporate job that is very demanding. Sometimes I work 8 hours a day. Sometimes I can work 10 hours a day. So that, as well as also working on myself, making sure that I work out, making sure that I'm also a mom to my kids. I'm involved in their school. So anytime that they need volunteers, I'm signing up, I'm submitting emails, I'm bringing snacks, whatever I have to do. So again, when I had help, it was still challenging, but it made more sense. Like, it was actually something that was pretty reasonable and realistic. Now that I don't have help, the amount of stuff that I put on my plate this year alone was completely unrealistic. And when I tell you I have been tired, I have been struggling, this week has been a huge struggle for me. And I found myself waking up extremely tired because I don't get enough sleep that I should get. And then my sleep is not good because I'm always constantly thinking about what I have to do next, what needs to be done. And I was just tired. And, you know, I began to say what we hear so often growing up. If you grew up in church, you know, we always say, you know, the Lord won't give you more than you can bear. And I began to think about that. And I began to say that. And the Holy Spirit convicted me real quick and was like, well, I didn't give you these burdens to bear. You gave yourself these burdens. You gave yourself more than you can bear. And I sat on that for a while. I sat on that all week, actually. And just like, how did I end up in this place? And honestly, it was my pride. Like I said, my pride made me feel like if I did not sign my kids up for cheerleading, I was telling them basically, because you're in a single parent household, you can't do the things that you want to do. And honestly, y'all, my kids not thinking like that. But that was something that was a motivator for me, was that once I became a single mom, I had this thing in my mind to say, you know what, I don't want my kids feeling like they're growing up in a single parent household. So whatever it is that they would do if I was like still married, I'm going to make sure they do it. If that means that I'm showing up to volunteer opportunities with the three of them, I was doing that. And y'all, it was so crazy because instead of me just saying, you know, no, they were supposed to go somewhere this weekend that fell through, so now I have all three of them, there's no way that I can volunteer. Y'all, I would lug these babies up, pack fruit snacks, pack a tablet, and expect them to sit while I volunteer. Of course, that wouldn't work. So I have a 2-year-old screaming. I have a 4-year-old fighting with the 2-year-old for screaming. I have a 10-year-old glued in the phone, not really wanting to help. I mean, she's a child. She's not supposed to help me. It was just a lot. And again, you would think the common sense would be like, hey, you can't do all this. But no, my pride was fueling me like, hey, you was doing it before, you can still do it now. Figure it out. And again, like, I was adding more on my plate because God was telling me, you know, I have a purpose for you. This is what I want you to do. So I'm doing the things because I was, and I still am, in a state of surrendering to God. Even when it feels uncomfortable, I surrender to God. So I'm doing the things that he's telling me to do. But then I'm also doing things that I think that I'm supposed to do to be a good mother to my children. And it wasn't taking all that. So moving forward, what I've decided to do is just really acknowledge him in all my ways and just allow him to direct my paths, because we can acknowledge him in all our ways and then he'll direct our paths, but we don't allow ourselves to follow that, or we don't allow ourselves to surrender to that. So with this cheerleading situation, anybody who knows me know I give 110% to everything that I do, especially when it comes to my kids. But just outside of that, whatever I'm involved in, you're going to get my all, you're going to get my best foot. So with cheerleading, it wasn't enough that I signed them up. Y'all, I had to be the team mom. So that came with its own set of responsibilities. And we literally practice 3 times a week. We have games every Saturday. My 2-year-old cannot participate in anything. So not only am I the team mom, but I'm also trying to entertain my 2-year-old and keep him calm throughout the 2 hours that we're there for practice and the all day that we're there for games, because I'm doing it by myself. So again, like, my pride was just telling me, you have to do this in order to be a good mom. Instead of just realizing, okay, well, God, this is the season that you have me in. How do you want me to show up as a mother? What type of mother do my children need in this season? Because truth be told, you know, when you get a divorce, they're going through their own things too. So for me, the way that I wanted to help them cope was to keep them feeling like they have a sense of normalcy. So y'all was participating in extracurricular activities before. Let me not take that away from y'all. We're going to keep you in that. I'm going to show up to everything like I was before. But in actuality, there's a new normal. So I need to kill my pride and adapt to this new normal by acknowledging God in all my ways and allowing him to direct my paths in how to be a mom to these children and giving them what they need. And if it's not signing them up for every little event, if it's me saying, hey, you know what, I can't do the PTA event this week because I'm tired. If it's me saying, hey, you guys, we're not going to be able to make the birthday party and the cheerleading game and then the other child's birthday party. We're going to have to pick which one we're going to go to. If it's me doing that, then so be it. That doesn't make me less than a mother, a good mother. I'm still an amazing mother. I'm still loving on my kids. I'm still nurturing them. I'm still pouring into them. And they don't require all that, y'all. My kids wasn't putting this pressure on me. It literally was my pride. So if you are a mother, especially a single mom, but I think any mom can deal with pride, especially if you're comparing yourself to other parents and how they do things. Nobody's situation is the same. You don't know what other people have going on in their household. You don't know what their abilities are. So don't compare yourself to anyone else. And then also show yourself grace and kill your pride. You are a good mother. When you show up as a mom and you do your best with what you are given, what God has put in you, you are an amazing mom. Period. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone, and you don't need to prove yourself to you. And that's something that I had to take away. I don't have to prove myself to me. I'm already chosen. God chose me to be a mom. So whatever it is that my children need, he's already put inside of me. As long as I stay locked in with him, that will continue to come out, and my children will continue to reap a harvest because of what God has put into me for them. So y'all, when I tell y'all, after this season of cheerleading, y'all, we have one more day. I am done. I am taking a sabbatical from extracurricular activities. My children have already let me know they don't want to do cheerleading no more. Thank you, Jesus. But they are interested in some other things that they were doing previously. And even though they were doing those previously, I feel like I can handle those. I'm still submitting that to prayer and allowing God to let me know when the right time is to put those in those things, because I don't want to continue to put more on me than I can bear. And the beautiful thing is, this is the real good news. Even when we do mess up and we put more on ourselves than we can bear, God mercy allows us to bring our burdens to him and lay them down, and he will carry those burdens for us because he cares about us, because he loves us. So I have been able to get through this season just because of God's grace and his mercy. And every time someone asks me, how do you do it all? I always tell them it's by God's grace, and I mean it, because there's no way that I should be doing all the things that I'm doing. And what I also realized is, by me putting more on my plate, y'all, I'm taking away from what God put me here to do. God instructed me to do a couple of things during this 6-month period. One of which was to go ahead and get certified for life coaching, and then to mentor the teen moms, and of course be active in my church. I show up as a mom every day. I'm a great mom without doing all the extra stuff that I'm doing. And I honestly think that God wanted me to rest in that area of life and just show up for my kids how I've been doing, but without putting that burden of, oh, get them to this, put them in this, have them sign up for this. And all of those things were just things that I was doing on my own. And I honestly didn't see the problem, because it wasn't like I was saying like I was doing bad things. Like, signing your kids up for cheerleading is not a bad thing. Being involved in the PTA, showing up to the school functions and stuff, those are not bad things. But the season that God had me in, the purpose that he was birthing out of me, I needed to focus more so on that during my extracurricular time than putting on more responsibility. So again, y'all, I said all that to say, don't let your pride drive you as a mother. Don't let your pride dictate how you show up as a mother. You're doing a great job. Continue to put God first. Everything else will fall into place. Your children will see that you are an amazing mom. They probably already know that you're an amazing mom. So you don't have to prove it to them. You don't have to prove it to yourself or anyone else. That's it, y'all. Love y'all.